Hey up, welcome, or welcome back, as the case may be. Now, I thought I'd try something a little different for this video, and so I've positioned the main camera on the headlight casket of the old classic 350. Now, I did film some rather tasteful, poignant sections to camera, and also some ride-by footage, but thanks to another duff SSD, solid state drive, all the supporting material has been lost. So this is what I've got. So my apologies there, and yes, I continue to despair. Fair warning to you, I foolishly bought a modestly priced drive from a company called Gear Tech. That's Gear, G-E-A-R, Tech, T-E-C-H, and it failed the first time it was used, and the second, and the third. The files transferred to it vanished after 24 hours, nothing left. Now, I made representations to Gear Tech, who responded by insisting I send them a photograph of the problem before they could consider a refund, and I asked them how I might be expected to photograph something that isn't there. And since then, I've heard not a whisper. Of course. And a quick check on Google reviews, and you guessed it, par for their course. Poor reviews from start to finish. So, where Gear Tech are concerned, nil point, and for the rest of you out there, caveat emptor. Right, moving on. So, this video footage is an early morning ride in the Nid Valley and up to the impressive looking and currently half empty Scarhouse Reservoir, which along with its twin Angram Reservoir sits nestled in the cleavage ground out of the land by glacial movement over millennia. The story of the construction of the Scarhouse Reservoir is a fascinating one and reminds us of the engineering excellence which proliferated across the state-owned municipalities back then. Normally, I would regard any man-made structure bisecting a beautiful natural landscape to be something of an abomination. Yet there is something about the sight of the emerging edifice of that grand spillway wall as you ascend towards it, which is strangely captivating. Scarhouse is the middle of three reservoirs in Nidderdale, alongside Angram and Gowthwaite. Its construction was undertaken by the Bradford City Waterworks to meet the increasing demand for clean water from the industrial cities of West Yorkshire and particularly Bradford. The project began in 1921 and took 15 years to complete, officially opening in 1936. At the time, it was one of the largest construction projects in the region, employing over 1,000 workers, many of whom lived in a temporary village built near the site, complete with its own school, hospital and social club. Information boards at the site detail these events, together with old photographs of the development. Well worth a visit. The reservoir itself was constructed using traditional methods, with workers manually excavating and moving vast quantities of earth and stone. The dam itself is a gravity-fed dam made from concrete and local stone, standing 71 metres high and 600 metres long. When full, the reservoir holds an impressive 9.8 billion gallons of water. Scarhouse is a remarkable example of early 20th century civil engineering. Unlike modern reservoirs that rely on heavy machinery, its construction was labour intensive, showcasing the skill and determination of the workers. The design ensures stability through sheer weight and careful placement of materials, a technique that was advanced at the time. The reservoir's water supply system is also noteworthy. Water flows through a series of tunnels and aqueducts to treatment works before reaching households in Bradford and surrounding areas. This system remains operational today, demonstrating thus the longevity and foresight of its design. The Scarhouse Reservoir reminds us of a time when the needs of communities were at the forefront of water and sewerage provision, not profits for greedy foreign hedge funds and bonuses for incompetent, corrupt, criminal water company boards. I will say it once again and will continue to say it and make no apology for doing so. Our government needs to grow a pair, take water back for the people and pay not a single penny in compensation. Sack all the boards and blackball them. Let the shareholders deal with the debt they've helped create and use the income from water charges to pay for the complete overhaul of the infrastructure from top to bottom. Only a morally bankrupt and spineless government would fail to do this. Or, of course, one looking after its rich corporate pals. But let's move on to prettier things. Beyond its engineering significance, Scarhouse Reservoir is renowned for its breathtaking scenery, situated in the remote upper reaches of Nidderdale, an area characterised by rolling moorland, rugged hills and tranquil waters. A rough road from the reservoir all the way to Cangill Road just above Kettlewell can be negotiated with an off-road capable motorcycle. Though riding up to the reservoir itself is a must if not previously experienced, the true beauty of the Nid Valley is to be had about midway between the start of the road in Lofthouse and its end by the reservoir. Here, in the early dawn light, can be had the kind of peace and tranquillity which affords an all too rare moment in which to completely disengage from the ugliness of a ravaged modern world. With only the occasional call of a curlew, the bleating of lambs or the distant barking of farmstead dogs to break an otherwise serene and seemingly enduring silence. It is a special place to me, and thoughts of my return there in early spring sustains me through the dark winter months. I'll see thee.